Good morning, good evening, and good night. This is another episode of Nothing Speaks. Now, we have a really funny story today. It's wow. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about people. You ever look at people like just walking down the street and you're like, "Oh, that's normal." But you ever meet somebody and they're just unnormal? And at first you thought they were normal, but they're just like abnormally crazy. They do the stupidest things, and no matter what you say, they just can't understand what's wrong with it. So, when I first started playing Pokemon Go, so we're going to call it Pogo for short, so I don't say so many words, but when I first started playing Pogo, right, it was like 2 years, 1 month now, or 2 months, something like that. It was when I started playing, I had no idea what I was doing. Because you see, I am a dude that started the mainline games, and I've been playing Pogo since 96. Well, not Pogo, but Pokemon since 96, right? I was there for red, blue, yellow. I even played green, the Japanese one. When gold and silver came out, I played that in Japanese on a floppy disk. It was the funniest stuff, man. The things we used to do back when I was a kid, man. But we were gamers. We loved Pokemon. So I've been playing that forever. Now, Pogo is a whole different animal, and I had no idea. So when I played, I didn't even know what hundos were. I didn't know anything about the game. Like I just, was like, oh, okay. Like I didn't know that there was mechanics like that. Like I didn't know, like what gyms? What are gyms? Like when I would go into the gym, I didn't see Brock or Misty or Lieutenant Surge or any gym that you. And I don't know why I'm only saying them, but like you didn't see like God, who were in the newer games? I can't even think right now. Wally wasn't, dude. Man, I can't remember their names, bro, from the old ones, but from the newer ones. But there wasn't like Alolan trials or any of that. It wasn't any of that stuff, right? So I'm playing it, and I had no idea, and I didn't know about raids. So I finally figured out that you can do raids at this mall, this like whole area, called Square One. It's in Mississauga, Ontario. So when I started to go there, I started to meet up with people, and like there was like groups of them playing. I was like, oh, cool, this is great. But then I started to attack the gyms, not knowing. So that there was rules to the gyms at Square One. So randomly on Facebook, which I hardly use, I feel like Facebook's for elderly people, right? So this person messages me and they go, "Hey, are you Nuftings?" Yeah. "Oh, I just want to tell you, I don't like how you're hitting the gyms." And I'm like, "What? What are you talking about, bro? Like, I don't understand." Like, this is like 3 in the morning. He's telling me, like, I don't like how you're hitting the gyms, There's rules and etiquette to hitting the gyms. I keep them at a certain color every day. I switch it around, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, man, I'm not the only one playing. Like, I got my kids who have their own accounts, and if they knock out a gym, what do you want me to do? Like, and I'm like, what etiquette? Like, I didn't know all this nonsense. Like, it was like he had control of the gym meta in that area. Like, it was him, and I was like, all right. So he's like messaging me constantly and telling me how to do things, how to do this, how to do that. But by this point, I knew what I was doing, right? Like I already figured it out by this point because I was like, what, a year in at this point. So I knew what I was doing. So I didn't really need the help. But okay, I'm not going to be an asshole. I, took his advice. Moving on. So now when I'm hanging out at Square One, um, I'm doing these raids at this some spot called the Living Arts Center, and like it's like a whole area. There's like City Hall, there's Living Arts Center. That's where they do like shows and stuff, and then you have Square One, which is the mall, and then you have like Celebration Square, which is like next to City Hall, where they do like live events and have festivals and all that. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on in that area, right? And when I was meeting with people, they would tell me, "Yo, don't talk to that dude." And I'm like, "What dude?" And they're like, "GymAdjuster," because that was his name. He named himself GymAdjuster. Like literally, like that was his name. So um I'm not gonna say his real name, but we're gonna call him GymAdjuster. That's his name, right? So, anyways, they start telling me like, yo, that guy's weird and don't talk to him, whatever. So I started hearing the stories. So what this guy used to do. So let's say you have girls playing. So you'll have like the occasional girl. I don't know how it is in your areas, but out here we got, not that many, but usually the ones that play are ones that have boyfriends or they're married or whatever, or they're there with their kids who play. It's a lot of stuff, right? But they're not really looking to get fucked. Like literally, they're not there to do any of that. They're there to do what they're doing and go home, right? So apparently, GymAdjuster used to see these women and he would hide in the bush. So what he would do is, let's say you put your Pokemon in the gym at a spot called the Bearded Ones. That's what it's called, right? He would wait there, like around Bearded Ones, there'd be like stops because Bearded Ones is the gym. So he would wait in the bush by Bearded Ones for you to put your Pokemon in, and then he would knock it out, right? And if like you kept doing it and you kept fighting with him, he would jump out the bush like Freddy Cougar shit. Well, not Freddy Cougar, like Jason shit, like boo! Like he literally would do some shit like that. So he became known as the creepy dude that jumps out the bush. I didn't know this, but then I was told, and I was like, oh my god. And he never denied it. He's like, oh yeah, I used to do that because he also would take like, all right, so let's say for instance you have a kid, right? And they knock out the gym and he's not around to gold razz it, right? He would then take a picture of your avatar and your Pokemon and then send it to his little homies and say, yo, knock this gym out. And it could be like a 5-year-old. So it started to become like an issue where even I would be like, yo, bro, like that's dumb. Like, what are you doing? Like, leave kids alone. Like, let them do their thing. They're playing the game. So when that would happen, he would just, brush it off, like, oh well, that's not a big deal, and blah 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 blah. So, anyways, oh, he's such a silly person. He would continuously do stuff like that to the point where a lot of the women just wouldn't want to play. Like they never wanted to be at the thing. They never want a lot of them would stay in their cars to stay away from creepy GymAdjuster, right? So when when this would happen, like it would cause like friction amongst people because there was a group of people that would save him and another group that would just like go against him. So you'd have like this, back and forth. Like it was like a civil war really going on, right? So moving on now. So me and him weren't cool. We weren't vibing at all. And I was like, eventually I became, what I became amongst the group. And then like I totally pushed him out the way, right? Like he was never good to begin with. And what he would do is he's such a terrible person at the game. He would then tell people how to be bad at the game. And it was causing problems where people would then come to us and be like, yo, what do we do? Like we've been messing and be like, yo, you listen to GymAdjuster of all people listen to. Come on. So now moving on. So there's your little context on him, a little background on him, right? So the other day, now if you know that out here had a huge storm and it's still going on now. And it was like 35 centimeters of snow one day. And then like people are still shoveling. It stopped. And then the next day or the day after that, we have like all these snow banks everywhere. It happened again. The whole place is just like muddy now and people can't drive and it's a whole thing, right? So we go to City Hall, right? Now, if you listen to any of my other videos, you know that there's a chick named Vibey. She hosts the City Hall stuff, right? Like the City Hall meetups. So City Hall really isn't a good place to do it. And the reason why I say this is because City Hall is where they have events and they have like the mayor will be there sometimes, and like we really shouldn't be there, but we're there anyways. I think we should be at Living Arts Center across the street because that, is more for like big groups of people. City Hall is a small little spot, and it's got like very limited amount of chairs. Like it's really silly, right? But anyways, if I say anything, everyone thinks I'm just being an ass. But it's like, dude, I mean, it's more of a courtesy thing. It's like, why are you in City Hall? Go somewhere else. Anyways, so the weather's really bad. And like I said, me and Ramir aren't vibing at all. He's a terrible player and he talks too much and he's a little bit of an asshole. And it's really hard to talk to people that think they know everything and always like, oh, well, I'm the best and I know everything. And it's like, bro, you don't know anything. So shut up. So the other day, when was it? It was when we had the raid day. Oh, the Hoopa raid day, right? That was what? Saturday. So when we were there inside of City Hall, in the middle, it's tile, right? So the tile has like they're gonna have an event there, so they're gonna put up chairs and all that. The tile, they were mopping it. So they have the electric mopper, they sit on it. It sort of looks like a Zamboni, and they're like just driving around. When they did that, we all saw this and we all sat around it. We didn't go through it or anything because you see people doing it, right? This dumb bastard, yes, GymAdjuster's a dumb bastard, with his muddy, snowy shoes, walks right through it. And this dude the one that was cleaning it, screams at him. And he's like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Well, he didn't say what the fuck, but he's like, hello, what are you doing? No, I think he's a white guy. He's like, hello, what are you doing? So he was like, yo, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, can you not do that? Like, I can't have you, walk on. I'm mopping it because there's an event. This dude responds with, oh, I'm trying to knock out this gym. I got to knock out this gym. And he's literally arguing with this dude. And this is why I'm getting so mad. You're literally arguing with this dude who's doing a job for an event, and you're like, he just mopped the damn thing, and you walk on it with your nasty ass shoes, bro. If that was me, I would have choked him. Like, dude, I'd have got fired because I'd have beat his butt. Like, real talks. Like, I would have been mad as a motherfucker. I'd have been so mad. Yo, you're working hard. You take great pride in your job. And this dingbat just walked right through it. And then arguing with the guy. Like, what are you doing? So then he walks off in a fit of rage because he has to walk around now. He can't walk through. It's like, bro, you're so dumb. Like, you could have walked around the front, like to the left of it, but he decides to go to the back of the place to do whatever the hell he was doing, right? So when he walks past, I'm like, yo, you're an idiot, bro. Like, I literally got mad. I'm like, yo, you're so dumb. Like, why would you do that? And then he's like, oh, the gym. I'm like, you're a punk, bro. Is that all you care about is the gym? Bro, like, we're ready. We're already doing hoopah and you're trying to knock out gyms. Like, how? It was so weird. Like, the whole thing made no fucking sense to me. And I was actually pissed. I was like, bruh, come on, man. Like, I try not to get mad at stuff, but yo, do you have any decency? Now, the other thing I said, because people were like, yo, who is that? Is that GymAdjuster? And then the girl Vibey never met him before. And she's like, oh, I want to meet him. I go, no, you don't. You don't want to meet him. She goes, oh, but I do. No, you don't. Like, what do you mean? You've never met him. He doesn't talk to you. And we're telling you, I was the only one saying it. Like, we all did it. And then people are giggling and laughing because, yo, Nuftings is saying the truth. Like, I'm not scared to tell you that dude is creepy. Like, I'm a guy saying another guy is creepy. Like, if he jumped out of the bushes at me, I'd have clocked him. Like, real talks, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, things like that are silly and just not needed to happen. Like, what are you doing? Like, grow up, bro. Like, I don't understand. And this guy isn't 20. Like, he's literally in his 40s. It's like, bro, grow up. Get you a girlfriend or something. Like, what are you doing? Now, mind you, he still lives at home with his mama and whatever. He's never left and blah 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 blah. I mean, I'm not saying you're not supposed to live with your mama, but dude, at least be a grown up, man. Like, dude, come on. So now the vibey girl is like, oh well, um, why shouldn't I meet him? I go, because he's a punk and he'll probably jump out the bushes. And everyone's laughing because it's a true story. Like he literally will jump out the bushes, right? So I was just like so mad because the big reason why I was mad is because we're there as a courtesy. They could tell us to fuck off and we can't go in there. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally are there because it's winter, it's cold, it's snowy, and we don't want to be outside. There's lots of places to go outside. There's a hockey rink there too. Like during the winter, it's a hockey rink, and during the summer, it's a water park. The exact same spot, right? So it's like it's a courtesy. They're allowing us to use the spot to play pogo. And you have to respect the boundaries. Like this spot needs to be respected. You know what I'm saying? Like it's even like at Living Arts Center. When we would hang out at Living Arts Center, they would have events. Like there'd be like cheerleading events, there'd be like ballerina stuff, there'd be like all these events going on, right? And you would have some people that would be loud. And we're talking like loud Jamaicans, just loud playing pogo. Security would tell them, yo, can you chill? They'd be like, yo, I ain't scared of no security. And it's like, then I got to jump in and say, bro, shut up, man. When you do that, they can tell us, yo, you guys got to leave. You can't come back in here. They can fucking do it because we're interrupting events. Like, just be quiet. Like, you'd have people bring like a fucking, a little speaker, right? And be bumping that while they're having events. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why? Like, I don't understand how people have no respect for people and working areas and whatever. They feel like they can do whatever they want. Why? Stop it. So, anyways, the GymAdjuster guy did what he did, and I was pissed off with him, and I was like, bruh, this is why I don't fuck with this guy or any of them. Like, I do not want to go back there and then they say, excuse me, sir, you can't stay in here if you're playing pogo. Like, all right. So where are you gonna go? Like when it's winter time, where are you gonna go? During the summer, yo, you could be outside, but you have nowhere to go. Like inside, like, yo, you want to stay warm, you got your kids, you want to stay warm. Like, why are you killing that for us because of a gym? Ding dong. Anyways, that was my story. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for any support that I have gotten or I'm going to get. Happy. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Like and subscribe and take care.